The following is a WWE Digital Studios presentation. You may know her as the Queen, but to those who know her best, she'll always be Megan. So what if you have all the tools that come with being the daughter of the Nature Boy himself, Ric Flair? You can train your whole life for it, but ultimately it doesn't matter because you just don't have what it takes. But what if I told you that wasn't true? What if I told you that there was someone out there who had all the tools necessary to not only carry on the legacy of their family name, but to surpass even the greatest expectations? Well, you don't need to dream about it because this superstar already exists. Her name is Charlotte Flair, and she's the greatest female superstar in WWE history. Yeah, that's right. Let me explain. Before we get started, I need you to do two things. First, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss an upload. So when you think of the second-generation superstars in WWE, which ones immediately come to mind? Maybe you think of Cody Rhodes or Randy Orton. Perhaps you think of the Bella Twins or even Alexa Bliss. Each of them have had some pretty decent careers, and although they've been successful, none of them hold a candle to the woman who's currently sitting at the top of the mountain in WWE. None of them can compare to the accomplishments of the most elite superior athlete in the entire company. Charlotte debuted in NXT back in 2013, and although she'd been training for years, she still had to pay her dues and work her way up. Like anyone else, she made her way through NXT and eventually came out on top, becoming the NXT Women's Champion. After a successful run in NXT, she was called up to the main roster, where she would become a key component to the women's revolution. It seemed like WWE had high hopes for her from the very beginning. At SummerSlam 2015, she was given a featured match against the then Divas champion Nikki Bella. The outcome of that match would set the tone for the rest of the women's division and would also set the tone for Charlotte's career. Although she didn't win that match, it was clear that she was the future. Charlotte was so good that it was impossible to ignore her presence. Despite losing that match, she would go on to capture the Divas Championship just weeks later. That win marked the beginning of an era for WWE. It was the end of the Diva era and the start of the women's revolution. Their title reign, she helped usher in a new era for women's wrestling in WWE with her in-ring prowess and mic skills. She was able to stand toe-to-toe with the best of the best, including Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks. After several successful title reigns, Charlotte went on to compete in the first ever Hell in a Cell match involving women. She did battle with her own father, Ric Flair, in a mixed tag team Hell in a Cell match. Just 1 year after capturing the Divas Championship for the first time, Charlotte found herself in the main event of WrestleMania, where she competed in a triple threat match against Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch for the newly created Raw Women's Championship. To say that Charlotte has come a long way would be a horrific understatement. She really has surpassed everyone's expectations, including mine. Although she's achieved monumental success in WWE, she still looks back on that moment as a pivotal point in her career. In an interview with ESPN, Charlotte opened up about competing in that match at WrestleMania. She said, "I knew that I had arrived when I headlined WrestleMania. For me, that was the stamp that I had arrived. Yes, I may have been on top before, but this was the biggest stage. There were no more doubts. I'm here. I belong." As great as that moment was for Charlotte, it was just the beginning of her legacy. At Money in the Bank 2017, she became the first ever woman to compete in the Money in the Bank ladder match. The following year, she went on to compete in the first ever Women's Evolution. And last year, she competed in the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match. This year, she made history once again by being the first woman to enter the Men's Royal Rumble match. The amount of firsts that she's accomplished in her career is mind-blowing. But what truly sets Charlotte apart from the rest of the pack is her ability to tell a story in the ring. If you're watching any of her matches, you'll notice that she truly believes that she's the greatest female superstar that ever stepped foot inside a WWE ring. Not only does she believe it, but she proves it in every match. Because of that, she's able to connect with the audience. You might not agree with her assessment, but we understand why she feels the way she does. She's the most decorated female superstar in WWE history. It's hard to argue with someone who has 14 world championships under their belt. Some of her most iconic matches include her TLC match against Becky Lynch and her father, Ric Flair, as well as her WrestleMania 39 match against Rhea Ripley. Both matches showcase her ability to tell a story in the ring. They show how she's able to keep up with some of the strongest male and female superstars in WWE. They also show her ability to portray a character. Sometimes less is more, and that's certainly the case with Charlotte. She lets her in-ring work do the talking. And boy, does it do the talking. In my opinion, Charlotte is the perfect package. She has the looks, the mic skills, the athleticism, and the charisma to be a top-tier superstar.
Yes.
She's been compared to her father since the day she debuted. Although she's certainly lived up to the comparisons, she's also surpassed them. I think Charlotte is better than her dad ever was. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying that Ric Flair is a bad wrestler or that he was a great champion. What I'm saying is that Charlotte has taken everything that she's learned from her father and molded it into something that's uniquely hers. She's taken his legacy and made it her own, and that's something that not many people can do. It's obvious that Charlotte is the greatest female superstar in WWE history, but what's not as obvious is what the future holds for her. After suffering a devastating loss at WrestleMania 39, Charlotte has found herself on the sidelines. It seems like she has taken this time to reflect on her career and to appreciate all that she's accomplished. But I think this is just a temporary setback. In a recent interview with BT Sport, Charlotte spoke about her future in WWE. She said, "I love what I do and I plan on doing this for as long as they'll have me. I love being a performer. That's all I've ever wanted to be. It's my therapy, it's my release, it's who I am. It's in my blood, it's in my DNA." As I mentioned earlier, Charlotte is the daughter of the legendary Ric Flair. Growing up, she was exposed to the world of professional wrestling, and it was clear that she was destined for greatness. At the young age of 8 years old, she accompanied her father to the ring during his induction into the WWE Hall of Fame. This was the moment that she knew she wanted to follow in her father's footsteps. Little did she know that she would go on to surpass even his greatest accomplishments. Charlotte's journey to the top of the mountain hasn't been easy. She's faced countless obstacles and setbacks, but she's always managed to come out on top. She's defeated some of the greatest female superstars in WWE history, and she's done it in spectacular fashion. Whether it's with a figure-8 leg lock or a spear, Charlotte knows how to finish a match. She's also shown that she's willing to do whatever it takes to win. She's cheated, she's lied, and she's even betrayed her own father. But in the end, it's all worth it because she comes out on top. If you're a fan of Charlotte Flair, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on her career and what the future holds for her. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you never miss an upload. Till next time, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.